Welcome back to Third Man In. I'm Zack Phillips, and in tonight's live stream, we're going to be watching along game number 47 of the Toronto Maple Leafs regular season, taking on the Winnipeg Jets here tonight to close this one out before their final game ahead of All-Star break. The Leafs don't play again until February 5th, where they take the next week off here, host some festivities in the city, do some All-Star skills competitions where we'll see Matthews, Marner, Riley, Nylander competing for a chance of $1 million if they do walk away from that skills competition with the ultimate prize and they do become the player who wins the contest. Jesus, cannot get words out here already. But we will be watching along this final game here tonight. A couple notes for the Winnipeg Jets, especially considering what we saw out of them the other night in Toronto here. Velarde back in the lineup. Morrissey left early on Wednesday night. He's going to be playing here tonight. The Jets didn't have Hellebuyck in net. They played Laurent Brossoit. We're going to see Connor Hellebuyck in net for the Jets here. We do see Samsonov yet again for the Maple Leafs. And the one everyone was waiting for, the one everyone's been waiting for a couple of months here, Ryan Reeves makes his way back into the lineups for the Leafs here tonight. So it's going to be interesting to watch. Interesting to watch how Sheldon Keefe deploys the lines, how he manages the minutes. And on top of that, I think the storyline everyone's looking for here tonight is how he handles the power play. Now, this power play, 1 for 20 over the last 20 attempts that they have had. It has been abysmal. And when you look out there at the talent that they have, when you look out there and you see that they have $50 million in players on the ice, at the end of the day, that is just not good enough production. You see John Tavares has effectively fallen off a cliff to come out of this Christmas break. We've seen his legs kind of disappear. His scoring ability has disappeared. He pretty much hasn't scored a 5-on-5 goal since Sweden. He has been struggling, and he's been struggling now on the power play. That's a big piece of all of this. On top of that, we did see Nylander drop off a little bit after he signs his contract. But at the end of the day, the biggest thing that we've seen leading to the stalemate here for this power play and why they haven't been as productive feels like everyone is on the same page in regards to the fact that these guys don't have any urgency. And that is one of the major problems that this team has even just outside of the power play. Why do you think that they are failures when it comes to playoff time? Why do you think that over the last 7 years they have won one series and when they went to the second round they won one game in that series? It's because as a whole they lack urgency. So, a test here tonight. The one thing you've always had going for you. The one thing in the regular season you've always looked at and said, it's one of the best in the league. It has stunk like shit over the last 20 attempts. Can you get it back on track? Can you get things right here? We're going to see a little bit of a test for this team. You did get called out by your coach. You got sat down. The first unit got sat down. He said, I can't put you guys out there. I'd rather have Calle Yarncroke and Nick Robertson and Max Domi go out there instead of Austin Matthews, William Nylander, Mitch Marner, John Tavares, and Morgan Riley. If that doesn't send a message to you, if that's not a wake-up call, I don't know what the hell is, and I don't know if these guys will ever be woken up. So, we will see if they respond here tonight against a Winnipeg team that has been very strong defensively all season. You have a Vezina caliber goaltender in net here tonight for you. I want to see how this team responds. My prediction for this game here tonight, truthfully, I want to see this team win, but I'm at the point, I'm going to go 4-1 Winnipeg. 4-1 Winnipeg is my final prediction ahead of this game. I'm seeing the chat here of all the people who have voted in the poll. Over 50% of the people who have voted so far think Winnipeg will win this game here as well. I think they respond. I think Connor Hellebuyck is insane. And you're in Winnipeg. I don't think that this team cares enough. I think they've got private jets waiting down the street to get out of here and head on out to their early vacations ahead of All-Star break. Get out to Cabo. Get out to the Dominican. They're not focused on this game here tonight as well. Another feature you guys will notice here on the stream, we will have a scoreboard up there during the watch along as well, so you can at least follow along with everything that's going on. But yes, we'll have the score, the period, all that kind of stuff in real time, updating. Game is underway. When the clock comes back up on the screen, I'll give you guys a countdown so you know where I'm at. You don't have to worry about it. If you say stuff in the chat, if you spoil, you spoil. I don't really care. I'm not going to be upset about it. More just so you guys know where I'm at in terms of where the game is and the clock and all that kind of stuff. I will be a little bit behind you guys. Part of it is I'm watching on a stream. The other part of it is I'm watching on a delayed stream and then streaming back to you. John Tavares in the left circle here, about to take the face-off against Lowry. Kicked out. That's not great. These guys are a mess right now. All right. Puck dropped. They're now showing the Jets line, so I can't give you guys a time. I want to see some fire from Nylander here tonight. That's one guy, because it felt like he got kind of called out after he signed his contract. Everyone said, oh, you got your contract, you mailed it in. Also, here, time. 19, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 19 minutes. That's my time check, just so you guys are aware. Nylander's a guy that I want to see step up in this game, though, because he gets called out. I don't think he's been playing poorly. I just think that the production hasn't been there. Like, statistically, what the numbers that he's putting up, they're just not there, especially what it was earlier in the season. So it's all way easier to look at a guy and be like, well, you got the contract, like, production dipped. I think a lot of it was just kind of like bad timing. It was just inconvenient for him to have that happen. I don't think he's played poorly. I think that he's had some William Nylander moments. Oh, that's a bad giveaway by Bertuzzi. I think he's had some Nylander moments where it looks like he's not trying, where he's just checked out. He's just there for the sake of being there. But that's also William Nylander. You take what you get with him. If you guys are watching the stream right now and you haven't already as well, please hit that like button, subscribe here to the channel, and of course it's going to freeze. Why wouldn't it? Hit the like button, subscribe here to the channel, turn on notifications so you get notified every time we go live. Watch-alongs happen, post-game reactions, as well as videos like the one that was dropped yesterday talking about Ryan Reaves returning to the lineup. You guys aren't going to want to miss any of that, so make sure to subscribe here to the channel as well. I've seen people online as well. Let me know in the chat. I want to see what you guys think. And as well, if you want to talk about it, if you disagree or whatever, you can call into the show here tonight. You can be part of the watch along with me, whether you want to just call, if you want to be on the screen, whatever. Even if you just got questions, you guys can call in. You send me a message over on Twitter at Zack Phillips, ZackPhill, as well as on Instagram at Zack Phillips. You guys can send me messages on there. If you have me on Discord, I'll send you over the link, and you guys can call into the show, give me your thoughts, ask questions, whatever works for you. But I still don't think that this team should be all in at the deadline. There you go, Ryan Reaves. Get in there and hit somebody with those busted-ass knees. Ryan Reaves' knees after a hockey game sound like my roommate's after he comes home from playing Twister. That's what he told me, at least. Weak knees. This is a good fourth line shift. It's not a good pass. Yeah, ultimately, when it comes to this deadline and what they should be doing, I just don't think that this is a group that should be fully bought in on. And it's not like you're giving up on the group or anything, but it's kind of like, why would we trade Minton, Cowan, other prospects, Niemela, whatever, or picks that you have? Why would we trade those for a team that we don't... Gotta respect Nye's getting in there. Why would you trade those pieces for a team that you think is just not gonna be able to get over the hump and go that far? Like, they haven't proven really during this regular season that they have that. I think you just give them the Florida treatment. Question in the chat there. Thoughts on Cole Sillinger fumbling Tate McRae and then her being an all-star captain? Do you think the NHL is purposely sabotaging Columbus with that selection? First of all-time bag fumble, that's for sure. It doesn't really get much worse than that. I mean, you think about like the worst calls in history. I think you could look at like Jets goal. Wow. I don't look. I'll answer the rest of the question, but I don't know how, if you're looking at this team, you could genuinely think that like coming back against this Winnipeg team is going to be a viable option here tonight. This is a really good defensive team. Also, what the hell is Riley doing there? There's no urgency to go and get that puck. Oh, fuck. Some of you watching can turn off the stream if you'd like. You don't have to watch. No, look, as far as the bag fumble goes there, like how do you drop Tate McRae like that? That's ridiculous. And then she was an all-star before he was. You play in the league, and your ex-girlfriend was an all-star before you. That's a tough look. That's a tough look. Oh my God, this team, man. Struggle defensively. Winnipeg, 1 shot, 1 goal. That's icing for sure. (4-1) Winnipeg feels good. See, there is Reeves. It would be pretty hilarious if Reeves just has himself a game here tonight. Big hits, not a net negative on the ice. Keep asking more questions in the chat. I'll try to answer more questions throughout the stream. I have a bad feeling about this one. This could be like a 6-1 Winnipeg. 4-1 might have been short. 6-0 maybe. Maybe the Leafs' long streak comes to an end. I think it was March 5th, 2020 was the last time they were shut out. Might be in danger tonight. Would All-Star Game get more eyes if Milk Mob were team captains along with McRae? I mean, it's hard to imagine that it wouldn't, right? Like that pairing, you gotta do whatever you can. See, I'm in the media game. You gotta do whatever you can to leverage the influencers online who are involved with the hockey community. You watch the Milk Mob TikToks. They go to Canucks games. They're big Canucks fans. They got suites. They got boxes. They're heavily invested in the community. They're heavily invested in the game. You're the slowest growing professional sport of the big four. The NBA, they had Addison Rae out there. They had people taking pictures with her. Adapt or die, really. I can't see this being a negative in any sort of facet if you bring the Milk Mob out with Tate McRae. Like, you already checked that box. Nice. Some people are into the Justin Bieber thing. I don't know. Tattoos are kind of weird. But, like, outside of that, Michael Bublé, I'll take that. I like that one. Good Christmas songs. Good Christmas album. Who's the other captain? Bieber? McRae? Bublé? Will Arnett. Oh, yeah, he's a big Leafs fan. All right. That's fine. Whatever. Maybe not growing the game as much, but nice to have. Liam, Jets -1.5 plus 105. I mean, to see, it feels weird live to have that number. I kind of like it, Liam. Jeremy, what's up? Go Leafs. Yeah, you can win this one. I said I want changes to happen. Realistically, they're not going to happen. I just don't want this team to get to a point where they get overconfident and think like, oh yeah, we're actually something special. They're not. They're not that good of a team. They've got some massive flaws. One being behind the bench there. The other one being the guys that make $44 million just have absolutely no balls. That's an issue. You're not going to win with this group, so just don't waste assets going forward. But I don't know. I don't mind if they win these games. They just don't go on a heater. Arnav, is the new MLSE CEO going to change the culture and maybe restructure the management? Sid was saying Shanny might be done because of that upcoming change. Look, I'm not going to listen to Sid Sixero on any of that stuff. It's fine. He's got his opinion. He can give it, but I'm not going to take any of it as gospel. Like, there's a reason he went from Sportsnet to talking about the weather and traffic. Just saying. You had a sports show, primetime, and now you talk about the weather patterns. That's where you're at there. I don't know. It's nothing against him as a guy, but more just like we're going to talk about taking this information of O'Shanny's going to be gone because of this. It means anything coming from there unless he heard it from someone, which we haven't heard from anyone else suggesting that. I'm not going to take it too seriously. Do I think that he could be gone? You should be. You're trying to win. Like, this is about winning. This isn't a fucking participation league here. So that's what you've got every single year that these guys have been in the league. You're in year 8 of this group. 7 years of playoffs. 1 playoff round win. You won 1 game in the second round. Like, it's not even like, oh, yeah, you were competitive. You weren't. You got your doors blown off by Florida in the second round. Get better. Like, get better. That's what it's about. I gotta. Jeremy, yeah, you do go to sell a kidney to attend. If anyone's got a hookup to the All-Star game, let the boy know. Luke Davidson, Major League Soccer might knock NHL out of the Big Four, especially now that Messi is in Florida. I mean, the low end of the contracts, I think, probably still doesn't compete with the NHL where it's at. But in general, like, there's a lot more money being thrown around. Liam, do you think Shanny should be scared of losing his job with Luke signing with MLS? Yes. I think everyone in that building should be scared with him being in there. I think that there's potential for the entire operation to implode. I would have my head on a swivel if I was in there. I would. He can hook you up with some courtside tickets though. That might be the play. I might have to start doing that. Take advantage. You want to impress some people. You want to impress a girl. You hit up late with Luke. He'll hook you up with courtsides. It's the 9:05 and you got to go to Mississauga, but courtsides. We'll get Luke on. There you go. Breakaway. How do I Samsonov? There we go. This team, they're not even that bad defensively, but the problem with them is that they just give up these massive chances that are such high danger opportunities for the other team. It's like you continue to give those up enough, you're going to get burned. And you have about average goaltending. I don't know. And you have a team that just doesn't care, has no grit, no balls, nothing, then you're not going to be able to climb back frequently. Like you bring in Bertuzzi, you bring in Domi, and Sheldon Keefe neuters these guys because he's like, oh, we don't play tough here. And so they can't play their games. Like, Bertuzzi plays a pretty sick game, his first game with this team. Jeez, good opportunity there. That's why Pontus Holmberg, most underrated player on the Leafs. Matthews and Marner said. Offside. Way offside. Gregor transports the puck from the D zone to the O zone with regularity. Yeah, he does. He's fast as hell. So, yeah, he's a good possession guy, good at transitioning puck up ice. I like him, but again, it's like people got way too excited about it. Keefe got way too excited about it and was like, we got to put this guy more minutes. We got to put him in the first line. We got to put him in the second line. Like, no, you don't. He's a good fourth line player. That's about it. Don Juan. If Leafs miss the playoffs, I think Shanahan will be done. Hopefully, 10 years at the Leafs and one playoff series victory is beyond sad. I've said it. I said get rid of the guys here. Get rid of the four. Get rid of Keefe. So, Don, you'd think that would be the case, but apparently we're the only ones with that mindset. Apparently we're the only ones who think that if you're not a successful team, if you're not a successful organization, you should change things. And you shouldn't just continue to run it back and have the same group and try again with the same lifeless group. So, oh my God. You'd think that they might be out, but who knows, Don? Fuck. We got a super chat here. Thanks for the super chat, Sebastian Silva. Fuck, man. Seriously? There you go. There's your feet on cam. God. This was much easier to do when this was so much easier to do when never mind, just gas. Continue reading the chat here. Also, you guys know how it works. 50 likes on the stream. Smelling salts come out. So hit the like button. Simple as that. Like and subscribe. 1,200 subscribers. We got score bugs on the screen. You got feet on your screen. It's easy. Yeah, thanks, Chuck. Ay. All right, I'll continue to read what's going on in the chat here. Meg, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's not, I don't control the chat. The chat controls the stream. You guys know that. Jeremy, any books have All-Star Game props up yet? Nothing here in New York. Looking to drop a big bomb banger on McCarr to win the skills. Nothing I've seen yet. I'll see if some people who are watching right now might know of anything that might be available. And if they do, maybe they could send me a text or send it in the chat. Maybe if the guy who runs the BetStamp socials has any idea, if you might want to let me know. Wouldn't mind. This third line is a pretty productive line. Like, offensively at least. You know, you should be able to expect or know what you're going to get out of them. And realistically, it's not defensive play. It's offensive opportunities. That might have been offside. It's puck possession in the offensive zone. That was wild. It's being able to cycle. It's getting in quick on the forecheck. They're fairly reliable when it comes to that. You should at least understand and expect that they're not going to be very good defensively. They're just not. That's not who this line is. So utilize them in the right opportunities. You've used your first and second line. You've got an offensive zone face-off. Put them out there for that. Give them those chances. Okay, now you've got a tough defensive matchup. Don't put them out for it. Just have some of that awareness and be able to utilize your line matching ability, and whether you can start them in the offensive zone. If you have to put it in the defensive zone, maybe you just go to camp. Maybe you try to go back to your first line if the second line just came out there. You can use some of these things to your advantage where it doesn't always have to be like, oh, we're going to just get our teeth kicked in now by this because this line's out there and they can't play deep. There's no need. But Keefe sits there and pretends like line matching or being able to choose which line goes out when and where is like this impossible task. This guy's somewhat brain dead at times, honestly. You go into the playoffs and he just gets out-coached every single game of every series against every team. You could have the worst coach in the world on the other side, and somehow Keefe is going to get out-coached by him. And I think a lot of it is just the fact that he overcoaches himself. He overthinks every single decision that he's making. once you start doing that, you get lost. You get guys lost in the shuffle. They get out of the mix. They stop having chemistry with their line mates. They stop getting into the flow of the game. It's like, it's a problem. You can't have that. Would be pretty easy solution there, in my opinion. But I like the third line. They're just not a defensive line. Whatever. You live with it. Everyone always complains, like, oh, why can't the third line score goals? And then now they score goals, and it's like, well, why can't the third line be defensive? Like, fuck, what do you want? If your girlfriend were to cheat on you with a Leafs player, who's the best and worst case scenario? Also, I'm hearing here, don't see any All-Star Game props yet. Oh, nothing yet. Worst case Ontario is Marner for sure. Like, I just couldn't. No. I would be. Paul Marner would be using that in like his contract negotiations. I couldn't do it. Phenom, if Leafs get out of the first with only giving up one goal, it'll feel like a win. I mean, yeah, it feels like the chances Winnipeg has had here have been pretty dangerous. Like, it feels like you've been able to hold off a good amount. It's a good forecheck by Bertuzzi to start this here. Oh, good pass by Nylander across. I want Bertuzzi to start being able to get some points on the board here because, I don't think he's getting enough credit for what he does and the impact that he makes on the ice. And it just feels like one of those things where Leafs fans won't start to appreciate him and what he brings until he actually until he actually starts getting points, which stinks, but it is the case. Chat, man. You guys are some sickos in there. Shout out to everyone watching right now from wherever you're watching. Queen Street, Liberty Village, Japan, St. Louis, Newfoundland, Hong Kong. I know there's a lot of those out there. Thanks for watching. Appreciate the support. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe here to the channel. Appreciate all the support. Appreciate super chats. Appreciate people in the chat. Gord, as always, if you want to call in, you're more than welcome to. Meg, I said a few years ago, when all the Leafs talk / rumors about Lawson Crouse, that they should have gone after Lowry. I know the Jets would want. I don't know what the next part of it is, but yeah, Lowry is a beast. He's also just like seems like a pretty good captain. I don't know. It's not to say Tavares isn't the leader, but it feels like he's not the leader that's needed on this team. Oh, that was a big hit. Oh my God. Yeah, Winnipeg is a good team. This is a good group. Also, I feel like we've seen a lot of Reeves here in this first period. We'll see how this... Ryan Reeves! Oh my God. Sheldon Keefe is going to have to fucking go into witness protection after this. This guy's sitting Nick Robertson in the stands, sits him up there for games, comes back, goal. Puts him back into the stands, comes back, goal, goal, goal. This guy scores like 4 goals in 5 games when he comes back. Revo up in the press box with his bum-ass knees, can't play for a while. Now he's saying he's healthy for the last couple of weeks. He comes into the lineup, goal. Sheldon Keefe hates his life right now. Honestly, Revo on the power play could be the move. Could be the move. Bertuzzi! Oh, he's calling no goal. What is he going to call this on? What are you calling here? Dude, this would be... DeMello pushes him in. DeMello's pushing him in. What the fuck are we talking about? How is this no goal? You got to challenge this. You got to challenge this. That chick is fired. What the hell was... What is going on there? That's a goal. You can't just be hammering guys into the net, pushing them into your goaltender, and then be like, goaltender interference. Also, by the way, Hellebuyck gets across. Yeah, good. You better challenge this. This is a joke. This is why this is the slowest league and slowest growing league revenue-wise in fucking North America. These pathetic refs. Look, he's outside the blue paint, pushes in. Twice, pushed him in. You're outside the blue paint. Once, bump him in, bumps the goalie. Twice, bump him in again. And then, by the way, gets across and then goes back. Where is he engaging with Hellebuyck? Is Simpson high? No. Is Simpson high? This guy's blackout drunk in the booth. Oh my God. Simpson, shut up. This guy's commentating like how I would if I turned the game on after I get home from Paris, Texas tonight. Two minutes for video review too. Fuck, it's a goal or it's not. Call it. There's 20 seconds left. Call it. Christ. This is honestly not even a question either. Like, it's so obvious that If this is no goal, we riot. This league sucks. It's a shit league. Shit product. Terrible, terrible. Pathetic fucking league, honestly. Pathetic refs, pathetic review. What the hell are we doing here? What is this? What is this rinky-dink ass product that you're putting on the ice? You got morons in the Department of Player Safety like George Peros who are handing over 5-game suspensions to Brendan Gallagher for attempting murder on the ice. And then you've got these idiots here looking at this where you've got 2 blatant pushes into the goaltender and we're just going to not overturn this? What are we talking about? This is a joke of a product. At least they're playing Tate McCrary to go into the intermission. What is that? Now, what you got to do, precedent's been set here, clearly. Now what you got to do, Winnipeg comes down in your end, guy stands in front of your net, just start fucking hammering guys into your goaltender. Just level guys into your goalie. Anytime puck goes in the net, precedent. You're pushed in, precedent. You called the last one off. What a joke of a league. Just a joke of a league. Fuck. Super chat here. Maxentius. Max, thanks for the super chat. Max says... Oh, I lost it. Mac... That's not the super chat. Max says, this league is biased for Toronto, bro. Chill. Anybody out there who thinks this league is biased for Toronto? Just watch that one again and then try to tell me that. Insanity. I don't get it. Well, it looks like we've got the intermission wave of people piling into the show here. We do appreciate everyone who's turning out. If you are just joining here, we'll be live throughout the remainder of the game, all the way through. Recap things at the end. Recap what went on here tonight. Recap the final score, all that good stuff. It'll be happening here on this channel. Stick with us throughout. You can turn off those goofballs on TV. Just listen to what's happening here. We'll try to get some people to call in if they want to. If not, all good. Gord, open invitation. Send me a message. You let us know your thoughts on the game. Your thoughts on this bullshit reffing that goes on here. I'll continue to answer questions in the chat, but thanks to everyone who's come out so far. Hit that like button. Subscribe here to the channel. Appreciate all the support, especially to everyone who's new right now. We're also 23 likes away from having to rip the smelling salts. So you guys like seeing people in pain. I guess that's why you're here watching these that's why you send these super chats. That's why you watch the watch alongs with the wink, Max. Yes, sorry. People are pissed here about that call. Look, this is a little bit of a blanket statement, I guess, here, but you want to talk about the reffing. You want to talk about how things are operating in the NHL. My problem is not that Gallagher gets 5 games or that he should have got more or that he should have got less or whatever. My issue with this league is the lack of consistency that happens with this team or with this league on a night-to-night basis. You have chicken shit players like Nick Cousins running around, hitting guys from behind. He hits Goodbranson from behind. The refs don't even give him a major penalty on that play. So Goodbranson basically says, all right, you're not going to do anything. How about I try to murder this guy for what happened here? He has to take it into his own hands there. Goodbranson ultimately ends up having to deal with consequences from the league after the fact. Then Nick Cousins goes out again, hits a guy right to the head against the Arizona Coyotes. Zucker says, fuck this. I don't care about what's going to happen here. I'm going to absolutely smoke you from behind, head first into the glass, because first of all, you're a piece of shit. Everyone in the league knows you're a piece of shit. And then also on top of that, this league is not going to protect the players. This league does not care about player safety. They do not care about maintaining balance or keeping things in order or actually policing the game themselves, because they're too fucking afraid after what happened with the Tim Peel incident, where he gets caught on mic saying, oh, we got to even things up. So this cowardly league with this moron sitting in the Department of Player Safety, basically every single time that guy hands out a decision, George Peros, he makes it look like Harvard is a fucking joke of a school. Like, Harvard themselves should be pissed off that George Peros is in there disgracing their name as the guy in charge of the Department of Player Safety. That buffoon making decisions makes that school look worse and worse every single time he hands out a suspension or doesn't. That guy has no idea what he's doing, and Gary just walking along holding his hand like nothing's fucking happening. It's a complete joke in terms of consistency and actually protecting the players. That's my problem with what goes on in this league. Not whether or not that goal by Bertuzzi should have been a goal. But the problem is that later tonight, in another game that goes on in the same league, the exact same thing could happen and they might call it a goal. And then tomorrow, the same thing might happen, and then they might call that one no goal. There is no consistency. There's no consistency in how the rules are applied, how the suspensions are applied after, how consequences are handed out. Like, there's nothing. There's nothing that happens with these guys. It's a complete joke. It's a complete joke. Makes no sense to me. These guys are idiots. That's the problem. T-Dot? Fair enough, brother. You want to call in and hash it out? Call in. We'll chat. But I bet you're too fucking scared. You're going to sit there and just type away. Keyboard warrior. Leafs, 29th in the NHL for power plays per game at 2.93 power plays. If that's what bias gets you, then fuck it. Text from my father. Yeah. Reffing in this league is the Wild West. Fair enough. Yeah, T-Dot. Grow a pair, buddy. I don't know. Phenom, players, coaches, fans will adapt to officiating if it's consistent. But yeah, when it's random, it's frustrating. Like, here's the problem. You turn on the TV tomorrow night with someone who's never watched an NHL game before. And they're sitting there with me, or they're sitting there with you in the chat who knows what's going on in the NHL. And you're going to say, that's a goal. And then they call it no goal. How are people supposed to understand the rules of the game and how things are run and actually be able to learn and adapt and understand this and fall in love with the game later on in their life if you didn't grow up in it when there's this lack of consistency? It's also like you could turn on the game here and turn on a Florida Panthers game and watch true. I'm scared of a 150-pound goof on his rag. What are you taught? 150 pounds guy. 165, try me. What does on his rag mean? If you're going to yap, at least make sense, buddy. Just sit there and click away. You do you. I don't even know what that means. On his rag. What? Anyways. Point being, I got thrown off by that. What the hell does that even mean? What does that even mean? Steven Land, hey man, great job with the watch long stream. Happy to pop in and say hi. Hope your Saturday's going well. Steven, thank you, brother. Appreciate the support. Appreciate you popping in. Mine's going pretty well. I'm going to deal with this clown in the chat here now, T-Dot. But other than that, Saturday's good. Hope yours is too. Also, I've got confirmation here about what on your rag means. This is like old saying. I don't know, but it's on your period. Real original, brother. Thanks. Call in. It is what it is. It is what it is. Look, I'm not going to back down. So, 165 guy. 5'10", 165, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. All right, let's check live odds. I want to see where this thing is at. Toronto back to plus 120, which is basically what they were ahead of the game. So you're pretty much at to the pregame odds here now. Stephen Land, you are welcome. Wanted to ask, how many jerseys do you own? Let's see. I've got a Tavares, 2 Matthews jerseys, Bo Bichette, a Water Dogs jersey, DeGrom, Jordan, Tyreek Hill. Oh, and the big one, the most important one, Rashid Shaheed. Punt return TD. You know what's good. Rashid Shaheed. Shout out Steven in the chat. Appreciate the support there, brother. Thank you. Android account. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're going to count the ones I don't have here as well, Alan Stanley, Rick Vive. I have a Dion Phaneuf jersey. Guy Lafleur. Rudy Gay. Andrea Bargnani. Lots of jerseys. Gaston Gingra, apparently. I definitely butchered that one. Android account. Hey friend, I can't watch the game. How is Sammy playing so far? Pretty well. I think that he's played pretty good game here tonight. He doesn't really look like shaky. I don't think the goal was like, what the hell were you doing, Samsonov kind of goal that we were seeing out of him. At the start of the season. I think that he looks a little bit more comfortable. He looks more calm. I think there was more of a matter of the breakdown from the Leafs defensively that allowed the Jets to score that goal there. But I don't know. I'm fine with Samsonov. I'm not jumping out of my seat here tonight about his level of play so far. The Jets did score on their first shot on net of the game. I think that that's more like luck that was the case, or just coincidence that was the case. I don't think this was like, oh, he was pretty pathetic and the first one went in. But, dude, I'm getting updates of all the jerseys that I have. Gaston Gingras. There you go. Chat is buzzing here too. Appreciate that, guys. Thank you. Keep hitting the like button. Let's get to 50. We're at 36. That's half the people watching right now. There's no reason we can't get to 50. Bring out the smelling salts. You all know how it works. 50, 100, 150, 200, 250. Keep doing that. Thank you. Also, subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Not going to comment on the panel. I have no idea what they're saying. Not listening to it right now. I have the game volume on while the game is being played. Turn the volume off at the intermissions. But that, you guys don't like the panel? You don't got to listen to the panel. I'm here. We're here. You don't got to listen to the panel. Listen to the third man in. Turn the volume off on the TV. Listen to me. Time things up like you do with the radio when you're listening to Joe Bowen. Holy Mackinac. Simple as that. Watch along here. Keep reading some comments before the second period gets underway here. Mr. B, Gallagher's hit was unexplainable. Not a puck in sight. Not a hockey play. 30 games. Get that out of the game. Well, um, 30 games is probably egregious for what that was. I think he probably deserved more than 5. But the problem is, again, I don't know if you can go more than 5 just based on what had happened before. Like, I don't know that you can go beyond 5 games based on how that meathead in the Department of Player Safety has dished out these suspensions and stuff in the past, or these fines that have been given out. Like, there's just no consistency to these things. So it's like 5 games isn't surprising at all. I don't know about 30 makes sense. I think that's probably too much. But on the other side, like, he targeted the guy's head blind side. He went elbow up. He's like 5'10". He hit a guy who's, I don't know how tall Pellick is. I think he's like 6'3" or 6'4". Like, he hit him right in the chin. It's a dangerous play to a vulnerable player in the neutral zone. It's unnecessary too. It's probably more than 5. But I can't even sit here and tell you what that number should be because there's been no precedent of this idiot failing to hand out suspensions that are adequate to the punishment, to the crime. And I think one of the problems that they have is that they base the consequence on the result of the play and not the intent of the play. Think about that hit compared to Bunting hitting Chernak on Lightning last year in the first round. Bunting got what? Technically, if you go with what playoff math versus regular season math, I think he technically got more games here than what Gallagher got. Chernak ultimately ended up missing the remainder of that series with a concussion. You knew, like, he was hurt. You knew he had sustained a head injury from that play. Pellick obviously hurt in the moment. I haven't seen any reports that would suggest long-term injury that's going to be coming out of this. Who knows what'll happen? But you can't just base these things off of did the guy get hurt or not. Like, what was the intent? What happened there? Steven, you're welcome. Thank you for sharing. Which is your favorite Leafs jersey you own? That is a pretty awesome collection. I saw Hill jersey, so I was interested in what NFL team you liked. NFL team, Miami Dolphins. Favorite Leafs jersey. Favorite one that I wear would be the new Matthews one that I got. It's the reverse retro Matthews jersey. The favorite Leafs jersey in general that I have would probably be the captain's jersey I got when I was a kid. It's signed by all former Leafs captains. I think one of the ones that I'm missing on there, well, obviously like Phaneuf and Tavares haven't signed it, but on top of that would be don't have Sundin. But it's like, I think Vive, Clark. Oh, what a block. Vive, Clark, Gilmore. All like the older captains. They're all on there. Denver. There's a lot of people in the chat, man. I can't answer every single question. I try. I can't get to them all. I apologize. Try my best. What's your thoughts on Kevin Bieksa? I think he's fine. I don't know. I think it's like, what's your thoughts on Bertuzzi? Well, he's a product of the environment. His coach doesn't want him to play physical, so he's not going to play physical. I don't think you get the best out of him. I don't necessarily know that, like, the head of CHL scouting for the broadcast crew being on this panel, I didn't even look at the panel here tonight. I don't know if he's on it tonight, but like in general, I don't know if he's, I don't know if that's going to get the best out of him. What if he goes to the other network and he's with Noodles and Jeff O'Neill and those guys, right? It might have a different feel. Benoit is a beast. I love Benoit. Marner with the soft little rinky-dink through the top. Can't get a shot off. Turnover. The jersey, by the way, is signed by Clark, Sittler, Teeter, Kennedy, Gilmore, and Vive. Shout out my dad for the fact-checking and updates behind the scenes. Just ripping stats like you'd never believed. I appreciate it. Need 8 more likes for the small insults here, guys. If you guys are new to the channel, new to the stream, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Turn over, and you were going the other way, odd man. That was crazy saucer pass there. You went 3 feet high. Oh, good try by Nylander. It's a good, strong power move. Like, he doesn't just say, I'm just going to take the outside. Use legs, use some of your speed, use some of your strength, physicality, get inside. Create an opportunity. You're on Connor Hellebuck. You're not really likely to just beat him head on. You got to kind of... It's a good stick by Morrissey, too. Yeah, I like that, Gord. Way to cut to the net. Gord, let me know if you want to call in here during the game as well. Happy to have you. I think the people would enjoy a Gord's Corner during the game. If you want to come on even just for the second period. Godley says, first period, Nylander was gliding all over, not skating so much. Guys like Kessel that way. I don't think that I don't think that he had that bad of a first period. I don't really think he was gliding. I actually thought he had a little bit of jam to him in terms of like the pop that he was displaying earlier in the first period. Yeah, he has gliding plays, but like that's also just who Nylander is. I think at some point you kind of just have to come to understand that that's part of his game, part of where he's going to be at. You're going to get also those explosive plays out of him, like that one there where he picks up the puck at the blue line, takes advantage of Morrissey taking that late turn, beats him with some power to the net. I don't know. I didn't necessarily have the same takeaway. I think that you're right in a sense of like, yeah, we definitely saw him gliding a bit, but like, I don't think it was like, oh, that was a bad period from Nylander. Reeves, 2 goals this game, 3 goals even, would be electric. Who made that pass there? Was that Matthews? Ew, Matthews. Good steal. Matthews to Revo. Oh! Yeah, Billy. Number 75. Well-rested and feisty. I talked about it in the video I put out yesterday. The one thing with this guy, which I think is maybe not necessarily the same as what goes through everyone else, Reeves is just a very competitive player. Reeves is a very, very competitive player. Whether he's good or not is a different question. He's a competitor. He wants to compete. He wants to be on the ice. Like, sitting in the press box is going to piss him off. You had to have known that he was going to come out excited here tonight. Whether or not he was going to perform and actually be good is a different story. I liked Reeves. I was fine with the signing, or I was fine with bringing him. Let's clarify that. I was fine with bringing Reeves. Do not like $1.35 million. What is going on? Billy, you're right, brother. He is owed one. Steven, nice. Another Dolphins fan. Happy to meet another Fins fan. Nice to meet you as well, brother. Should wear a Leafs jersey. Anyone you think would be cool for today? I like the dark blue jersey. Sorry, I was not laughing at the question. Had a text pop up off screen. That was funny. The Matthews reverse retro is the top of the list right now. Phenom, I would agree. It feels like the Leafs kind of turned it around. Like they were getting it felt at least like they were getting kind of mauled. A little bit early by this Winnipeg team. And you're on the road. You're playing a tough defensive team. They found a way to kind of impose their will here a little bit to close out the end of the first. They've brought it into the second period here through the first 6 minutes. I think that the way that they've played has been pretty decent. Like, this hasn't been a bad game. They started slow. But I don't know. I'm kind of rocking now. Godly John. Nylander's a beast. Just feel he could leave a bit more on the ice sometimes and power through. You never see him out of breath on the bench. Not like the rest of the guys. He manages it well. I think you're right in what you're saying. Like, you're seeing the right thing, or you're seeing something that is happening. So I don't disagree there. He doesn't look out of breath. Now, the counterpoint to this would be he's the Leafs' best player in the playoffs, consistency wise, over the last 3-4 years that we've seen of these guys. That's part of why I was okay with giving him the money, is because I watch what he does in the playoffs, and it's like, I don't know, dude. You're the one guy. So I'm like, all right, whatever. But he also looks like that on the playoffs when he does take it up a notch and is dominating a little bit more. Like, oh my God, Marner just put it through the crease. How do you do that? Mitchell. I don't know if Hellebuck looks shaky. The Leafs have 18 shots on goal here, and this second period a lot has been felt, at least, very heavy Leafs. There's been some good opportunities. There's been some decent puck possession. You're seeing, Winnipeg here having to ice the puck. I don't think he's necessarily looked shaky. I think he's had to face a lot. He also hasn't played in 6 days, 7 days. Megan might have. Oh, Marner's such a letdown this season. It's frustrating to watch. Are we getting into this conversation here tonight? Are we having that talk here tonight? I feel like people are not going to want to hear this. Oh, Nylander is now out with Matthews and Marner. I don't think that happened on the last shift, did it? This is just to start here. Nice pass by Matthews and great reception by Nylander in the neutral zone. Oh no, Matthews missed the puck on the wall. What is going on here in terms of what a D play by TJ Brody? Look, he's been struggling this year. That's a hell of a play by him. Yeah, I think. Yeah. Attaboy, Samsonov. There you go. Brody gets a little jab on Nemesnikov. This was a great play by Brody. Great pass block. Samsonov covers up, grabs 3 rebounds there. I heard that your real life player comparison is 07 Hal Gill. I think I would probably be closer to like Nicholas Hagman when he got traded to Calgary. Or maybe like New York Islanders Jason Blake. That's 6 feet offside. Yeah, Gord. Play ball hockey there. Again, this third line. Samsonov fighting through traffic pretty well here tonight. The corner shot, being able to recover, grab rebounds after, kind of tighten things up. Getting to that, finding puck. He hasn't really looked swimmy. He's looked like he's moving around a little bit, but not really swimming, I would say. I think Samsonov's looked pretty good here tonight. All right, well, I've been on the stream on my own here for a while. I've done the watch-alongs for the last couple of weekends. There's a lot of people you guys want to hear from. There's a lot of people you want to hear opinions. When we don't do all the post-game reactions or it doesn't line up on certain days, you don't actually get to hear from people all the time. So for the first time ever, on the live watch-along, we're going to bring in our first watch-along guest. Hit the music.
Okay, are you ready? Let's go! Don't go change it. Do it your way, go down blazing. Don't go change it. Do it your way, go down blazing. Sugar and spice, everything nice. Have a little class and do it right. I gotta say the way I feel. That's right. Buttercup, this is serious stuff. I love the people. You ready? Go. I don't get enough time in this show. I love the people. How's it going? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. How you doing? Lovely to look at and delightful to see. Love the hat. A wise guy, eh? You look good, really. You look good. Don't go change it. Do it your way. Go down blazing. Don't go change it. Do it your way. Go down blazing. Doing that one for the old grapes. Go down blazing.
There you go. Welcoming to the watch along here, the man, the myth, the legend, all the way from Japan, Gord. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Ohio gozaimasu. Good morning, chat. You guys hear me okay?
Yes. Yes, you're good. There you go.
Okay, so I guess I'm going to have to turn the sound on the Leaf game off to be able to be heard here, eh?
Maybe, yes. I can hear you.
But if I do this with the Leaf game on, I don't know if I'm like a 2 seconds delayed because I'm on the other side of the planet or whatever. So I might not be in total unison with what you guys are. You might be a few seconds ahead or something.
Okay.
I'm
That's
not
fine.
Oh, so Riley's breaking out the puck right now. Riley's at the blue
Yeah.
line. He's stopped up. He's shot.
You're ahead of
Hellbeck
me.
makes a nice save. Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
I think.
Riley's going back on the puck now. The puck's behind the.
Oh,
Leafs
never
red
mind.
line.
Never mind. Yep. I know what's happening.
Riley's
now.
breaking the puck out now. Riley just dumped it up. Nice, touches it to avoid the icing.
Yeah.
Domi's target on the forecheck. So the Jets just walk out of their zone. Luckily, a shit pass causes an icing. Okay. Oh, what happened to the icing there? That was an icing.
Yeah.
What the hell
Penalty
happened?
coming up here. Penalty for Nicky Bobby.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interference? Oh, bad spot to take a penalty. Jeez.
What have you thought about the game so far here tonight, Gord?
I liked it. I really liked it a lot, except for that, that one cough-up bobble by Riley that caused the goal. That was sloppy, and Brody again not having the wherewithal to take the threat in front of the net. So looking for I don't know what there, but other than that, I like what the Leafs are doing. They seem to be, they're sustaining some pressure on the forecheck. Bertuzzi seems to be causing some havoc there. They seem to be, I don't know, like there's concerning with the turnovers still, right? But it seems to be a pretty decent game. They've been taken to Winnipeg the last 10 minutes here. So
yeah, and kind of to close out the first period as well,
Yeah, just a tough place to take a penalty there, Robertson. Come on. Especially behind what happened here? I didn't even see it. It had to have been behind the play with that. That was an icing. What's going on?
Gord, what do you do with what do you make of Tavares? What we've seen out of him over the last couple of weeks, his level of play, kind of how he's fitting into this lineup. It feels like he's really taken a step back, whether it's his ability to keep up in the play with his legs, if it's his hands falling off here too, his shot. I don't know kind of if there's a way to pinpoint what it is. It feels like no matter what, it's always going to come back to the legs of Tavares. He was never a great skater. He was never a guy that you looked at and said, wow, that's an all-world speed guy. But it feels like it's fallen off a lot faster than we've seen it go for some of these guys. And this has happened mid-season. I don't know if he's just tired or what. You're going to get an opportunity here where you're going to get about a week with the All-Star break coming up. But if you're Sheldon Keefe, if you're Brad Treliving, if you're Brendan Shanahan, how do you manage this? Do you kind of jump to conclusions and think, okay, this is the end, he's done? Do you think he can come back? Like, what are your thoughts on how he's played over the last little while and how you manage this asset going forward?
Yeah, well, I mean, you're stuck with him. You're not going to move him, right? So basically, that's out the window, right? I mean, I guess you could say, well, everybody's tradable or whatever, right? So you could actually, even with the no moves clause, right? If you put the guy in the suit for enough games, he's going to want the heck out, right? And he'll waive that. But you're not going to do that to a guy like John Tavares, not of his status. You're just not going to do it, right? It doesn't bode well for the organization as a whole. It doesn't bode well for free agents coming there. It's just kind of slimy if you do that to a guy with 1,000 games and with his pedigree or whatever, right? So that's out the window, right? So you're playing the guy. So it's a matter of, okay, do you play the guy in the wing or whatever? What I've seen from Tavares is I don't see, I see the guy still winning those 50-50 down low battles. He's battling on the boards. I think what was the game the other day where it was a close game they won? He blocked his shot. He leaned into was it the Calgary game? I can't remember. He leaned into a guy in the defensive zone, won a puck battle, got it out. There happened to be a goal that actually resulted in that play. Oh, here goes Nylander. Nice steal. Nice poke check by Hellebuck.
Yeah.
Not going to buy that at all. Nice play. So he's still doing some little things good, right? He's still winning some battles. He's still winning some draws. He's not scoring, but look, as good as Nylander's playing, Nylander's not a passer. Nylander's a shooter. So you got two shooters on the same line. Nylander can make his own space and get his own and make his own shots, which he's doing, right? You're seeing a lot of Nylander's chances are ones that he's creating himself with his speed. But he's not getting Tavares the puck in the good shooting spots. Marner does. So maybe it's back Marner and Tavares and Nylander with Matthews. I'd do that because Marner seems to play. Tavares seems to score much at a higher rate when he's playing with Marner because Marner's a disher. Marner doesn't shoot. So you get two shooters.
Ever.
You got two shooters in Tavares and Nylander playing together, and you got a shooter and a playmaker in Matthews and Marner.
Yeah.
But I think if you might take a little bit away from Matthews' scoring chances if you put Nylander in there because he's not going to get him the puck as often and as good in spots as, but he's still going to create ice for Matthews with his speed. So I honestly think that's the go-to. Like put Marner back with Tavares and move Nylander up with Matthews. That's what I would do anyway. And then I'm not sure about Nice, great player. I like a lot of things he does, but he's 2/3 of a play every time on offense. The guy's 2/3 of a play. Like and then he bobbles the puck at the end, or he gets a great scoring chance and shoots it into the breadbasket. It's just like 2/3 of a play, 2/3 of a play, 2/3 of a play. Like we're just waiting for this guy to figure it out, right, and be able to finish. But he's
but I think that you can have I don't know. I think you're right for the most part there, but like I think you have to have some patience with the guy. I'm not saying you don't. I think that the organization has to, because look at how they handled Nick Robertson. Regardless of what you think about him, of whether or not he should be in this lineup, it's undeniable now, especially this season, that it's like Keefe hates him. Keefe doesn't like Bertuzzi, Keefe doesn't like Domi, Keefe doesn't like Robertson, and he sits these guys down, but then it's like, all of a sudden he gives them minutes and they perform and they get point production. Nick Robertson goes and sits in the press box for 5 games, he comes back and he scores, Keefe puts him back in the press box again and he comes back and he scores, and it's like, at the end of the day, he's still a kid, he's still developing here, he's still on an entry level. I think you're in the same position with Nyes. There's nothing wrong with kind of having consequences and punishment for some of the stuff of being like, hey, you're not playing well, you're not performing, you're making these mistakes, we need you to fix this. And if things aren't being fixed, then saying, hey, we're going to take minutes away, we're going to take lines away, we're going to move you down, or whatever the case might be. The problem for me here is like, inconsistency from Keefe. He seems to have favorites. He plays the favorites. Outside of that, you can very quickly go to the doghouse and that's it. If he hates you, he hates you. I think that like taking away minutes from a guy like Nyes would be a complete and utter joke for them to be doing. I don't disagree with where you're at in terms of, hey, there's a little piece missing and you're missing him. You're missing that bit from him to kind of like take it to the next level. Like we're seeing here tonight, we saw Nylander get jumped up to this first line and take his spot, but it's also like, he's a kid. He's playing in his first full regular season. You've got to let him learn some of this stuff rather than being like, oh, go play 5 minutes tonight and hopefully you learn from that, because it's clearly not working that well with Nick Robertson, where he's still hated by the coach.
Okay, like I agree with you. Like, be patient with the guy. He's a kid. All of that I'm on board with. But you don't have to be patient with the guy on the top line. You don't have to be patient with the guy on the top line. Yeah, he gets in. He loosens some pucks. Those are good Zach Hyman type qualities. Great. But a little bit more finish, a little bit more make a play.
But you have a guy on his line who scores 70 goals.
Yeah, sure. And he's going to score 70 goals with or without Matt Nyes on the left wing. He scored
right, but my
goals.
point is,
how many of those goals how many points does assists does Nyes have on the? What has he got, like 15 points? And he's got a guy who's on a 70-goal pace that he's playing with. How is that possible? Where's the Leaf stat?
That's a D breakdown right there if I've ever seen one. Oh my God, how did that puck not go in? Wait till you see this. I don't know if Sammy saved the second one or if it hit the post. I couldn't really tell through the scrum, but holy shit, were they lucky for that thing to not go in.
Wow, I just missed that because I went to bring up the stats to see exactly what the Nyes' points production is.
There's no one on that side of this.
17 points in 44 games. So he's got 9 assists playing with Marner and Matthews, mostly, with a lot of minutes. So that's telling me that he's not making enough plays. As good as the other things that he does. Look, admittedly, the guy skates well. He hustles. He gets in on the forecheck. He's not making plays. He's not making plays. And as such, I would take him off the first line. Put him on the third line. He doesn't have to play 5 minutes on the third line. He can play 17 minutes on the third line.
Well, but Keefe won't play the third line. Keefe won't play the third line any minutes. Like, he plays them 6, 7, 8 minutes a night. Like, they don't get the exposure.
He's got to play them more. He's got to play them more. Maybe they can play.
Well, I don't disagree, but he doesn't. He just won't.
I know. But what I'm seeing in Nyes is this is what I'm seeing. Like, he's 2/3 of a play. He's 2/3 of a play too often, and that thwarts offensive chances for the Leafs. They need some guy who a little. Okay,
but my disagreement on this, Gord, would be that look at the production of Matthews. I don't think you can say that it thwarts offensive. Like what is it that you're looking at on the other side here? If you've got a guy who's producing more, are you looking at 90 goals from Matthews? Like, is that what we're going towards? If you're going to say like, oh, he's going to be able to produce more.
Not looking at him. How about more points from Nyes? He's got 17 points in 44 games. Playing with Austin Matthews, one of the elite players and goal scorers of the game. He's got 9 assists in 44 games. 9 assists. Playing with Austin Matthews. That's just giving Austin the puck. But he's not giving Austin the puck enough. Otherwise, he'd have more than 9 assists in 44 games. Playing top line minutes.
I more just mean like it's like you're not looking necessarily for the production. And Godly John saying he had 60 goals without Nyes. Nyes isn't the reason. I understand that. I'm not saying the line mate is the one who's going to create the production. My point is more that you're not asking him to be the producer on that line. Like, look at the production that you were getting out of Nylander and Tavares on the second line, and the run that Tavares went on. But Bertuzzi was on that line, and he's not looking at like putting up crazy points. It's because they do other things.
So he got bumped off the line, Bertuzzi, because of that. He got bumped off the line, and. Yeah, he's doing other things. He's getting in on the forecheck. I could put David Kemp on the left wing and do that and get his 9 assists if he's playing 22 minutes a night with the top line. I could get David Kemp to do that. I could get Max Domi to do that, but Max Domi's going to get the puck to Matthews more often on the tape.
Sorry, not in the skate. Distracted by the clear out there. Yeah, I would agree that he needs to contribute more, and I think it will come, but I think some of that comes with learning. Like, you're going to have to learn and be a part of this regular NHL grind. But how's he going to learn on the third line when Keefe won't play the third line? This guy hates the third line. He plays the third line 7, 8 minutes a night. Like, he can't go there. And the other thing that we're looking at with this guy is you're looking at him hoping for him to be a first-line player. Like, you've got to play with the first line guys to have that learning opportunity. In my opinion.
Okay, but we talked about that last week. I mean, there's time for learning opportunities, and there's time that now you're hopefully a cup contender, at least a playoff team. So the learning curve is for teams like Chicago and Anaheim, and not the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Toronto Maple Leafs, this is win now mode. It's not.
Well, they're not going to win this year anyways. They're not going to win. So you might as well take the time to develop. They're not going to win. So be realistic with the lineup then and say, hey, this isn't the year we're going to win. You don't have the dogs. You don't have the group. Take the time to develop the guy.
Okay. If that's I don't disagree with that take. If management behind closed doors goes, look, I mean, this is a long shot, so it's better to just let Nyes develop on the first line and figure out how to make that extra 1/3 of a play.
All right, I've got line proposal for you here. You tell me. Okay. You disagree, you agree, whatever. I have a full breakdown of what we've got here with this Leafs team, okay? First line, Nyes, Matthews, Nylander.
Good.
Second line, Bertuzzi, Domi, Marner.
I don't hate it.
Third line, Gregor, Tavares, Yarncroke.
I don't see Tavares keeping up with that, and I don't see Gregor or Yarncroke getting Tavares the puck enough for Tavares to be effective. So
I disagree because I think the way I see this here is that Nyes, Matthews, Nylander. Nyes is your puck retriever. Matthews and Nylander are the ones doing all the other work from an offensive standpoint. Nyes can participate in the forecheck. He can participate in puck possession down low, the psycho game, maintaining possession in the offensive zone, holding you in, pinning you in, wearing down the other team, creating opportunities. And then Matthews and Nylander are the ones who are going to be able to capitalize. The other thing here with this is that you now have two guys on that line who can bury. Much like you said, when you have Marner playing with Tavares in that spot where you were talking about that earlier, you're going to have a guy with Marner who never shoots, who can now go on a line with a guy who is a goal scorer. You're basically looking at now, okay, you've got a puck retriever, a guy who, as we've discussed here, defers a lot. You've got your 70 goal scorer, and you've got a guy who I still stand by the fact he's one of the most underrated playmakers in the NHL. Just from a standpoint of people say, oh, this guy's a shooter, he's a scorer, William Nylander. He's an incredible playmaker. I think that gets kind of lost in the shuffle a lot here. I think that he's a guy that you can kind of look at, put him with Matthews, you're going to get a lot of offensive opportunities. Now with the second line, Bertuzzi, again, he's the puck retriever. He's the guy who goes in the corners and fights. Domi and Marner, the reason that you've pinned these guys together here, or I've pinned these guys together here, Keefe gave them some runway a little bit earlier on. I think that they looked pretty good. You have some struggles with Domi and kind of where you get to with the defensive side of things, but that's why you have Mitch Marner on his line. That's why you have Tyler Bertuzzi, guys who are a little bit more defensively responsible, can kind of cover for some of that. Domi is a playmaker who can also score. Bertuzzi can capitalize on opportunities. Marner, this one would be more of a just offensive possession type of line. Third line, and my pushback on where you're saying Tavares, he can't keep up. He can't keep up with any line that you're going to put him on. Like, the only way you're going to make him be able to keep up is if his line mate is Ryan Reeves, because Tavares has a piano on his back and Ryan Reeves' kneecaps are non-existent. Like, his knees, he's got double braces and he's running around out there like Forrest Gump before he breaks off the case like on his legs. Like, you've got those two guys. That's the only way you can make it so that John Tavares can keep up at this point. So you just kind of have to avoid that situation altogether.
Marner gets Tavares the puck with regularity in good spots.
But the point is, if we're looking at speed of these guys, Tavares can't keep up anymore.
Marner's not that fast, and Marner does a lot to...
Come on, Gord. Marner's a fast player. Marner's a speedy player.
Okay, he's way faster than Tavares. I understand that. But Marner does a lot of things that gets Tavares the puck and allows him to play with a much slower Tavares. In terms of, what he does with the puck. Like a lot of his elusive stuff. He'll drive a guy back, curl back, and then he'll look for Tavares in the spot. He works well with Tavares. And these guys going, look at Miga's saying JT is 33 years old and getting paid 11. Yeah, we know about his contract and everything. He's always been slow. He's always been a slugfoot. Go back to his Islander days. The guy is a slugfoot. You're not going to change that. What he does well. Is he's good down low. He's good down low with the puck. He's good on those 50-50 battles. He's good on draw, and he's got a good shot if he gets the puck in sweet spots. Marner can get him this puck in sweet spots. Yarncroke and who was the other guy you said you proposed for that line, the third
Gregor.
line? They're not
Gregor.
Gregor, especially Greg. Gregor's a great fourth liner. He transports the puck from the D zone to the O zone with regularity. Awesome, love it. He's like, who is that guy who scored 40 goals one year for the Rangers and used to play for the Leafs and skate 1,000 miles an hour? Yeah, he's like Grabner. You know,
Yeah. He gets 160 breakaways a season and he scores 10 of them.
Exactly. He's like that, right? So that's the guy. That's your fourth line guy. Look, he and I think Camp are ensconced on the fourth line. No problem, right there. So you got to find something. You got to find something where you can get scoring chances on the other lines, right? I like some of the other. I like Nylander, Nyes, and Matthews. Okay, I'm still holding out for Nyes. For me, at this point, he's 2/3 of a play too often. So I'd like to see someone else on that left wing, and then Nyes on the third line, with someone like Domi and Yarncroc. So you got fast, you got speed, and you got some heft with Nyes in there. So I like that. I like that much better, and I like Marner and Tavares together on the second line with Bertuzzi.
But at what point here do we just acknowledge that Tavares maybe can't play 20 minutes a night? He can't play against some of these tougher matchups because he can't keep up speed-wise. He can't keep up with the physicality. Like, the best opportunity that he's got is if the puck gets dumped down in the corner and he's just going to go into a one-on-one battle. Like, that's where he's going to be able to do anything. And outside of that, it feels like he's always two steps behind. Like, watching him skate here, it's tough. It's tough, Gord.
We have this conversation every year, though. We're having this conversation.
This is the worst one, though. Like every year, we can at least look at it and say point per game player, producing on the power play, still finding ways to get it done 5-on-5, even if it's not dominant. This year has been like liability, not producing at 5-on-5. Like, I don't think he scored a 5-on-5 goal. I think he scored one 5-on-5 goal since they got back from Sweden, Gord. That was months ago. This is the captain of the team making $11 million, and he scored one 5-on-5 goal since Sweden. One? That's not good enough.
Does that say something about Nylander, though? I mean, you're telling me what a great playmaker Nylander is. Does that say something about Nylander?
Nylander's still putting up points. Nylander's still having production. Also, by the way, Nylander goes up to the first line, leaves the Tavares line. Nylander's still producing there. Matthews still producing, lighting the world on fire, still able to score goals.
Yes, Matthews producing with that. Put Matthews on the fourth line, he's going to produce. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a given. That's a given.
But I'm talking about the fact that you've got Nylander alongside of him. Tavares is $11 million scored.
I know. Can we stop talking about the contract? We can't do anything about the contract. I'm thinking about, what does the coach think? Coach has got the players in front of him. The coach doesn't care about the contract. He's looking at the number on the back. Who can I put out?
I disagree. Situation? I think this guy is looking at the contract. I think he looks at Matthews and Marner and Nylander and Tavares and Morgan Riley and says, these guys make the most amount of money. They have to play. Like, that's the only justification that I can get behind of why Tavares is still seeing the minutes that he's seeing and why he's still so high up in the lineup as he is. I don't see how he can continue to be a productive player on the second line for this team moving forward. I just don't. He's not getting it done right now.
Okay, right now, what has he got? 34 points in 44 games, so he's 10 points. And he hasn't scored a point in forever, in like 10 games. So basically, he was a point a game until this stretch, right? He's got 34 now, and 40. He's got 34 in 44 games. He hasn't got a point in 10 games or something like that.
But we could also look at the body of work here, though. Like, it's not just about the number that's on the sheet. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Down low, he's still winning battles. I see him winning board battles down low. I still see him, winning faceoffs and mucking it up and playing. He's I don't know, man. He's not scoring, but I don't think his game's totally off.
But we're also watching a second-line center who can't play anywhere outside of the perimeter.
Yeah, I know, but he's always been like that. That's why you need a guy like Marner to play with him, not a guy like Nylander. Nylander doesn't work with Tavares. It just doesn't work. If it does so just because, Nylander is such a good hockey player and he can score, he can drive things on his own, right? Admittedly, Tavares needs someone to get him the puck. He can't do it on his own.
But it feels
gotta
like
get-
now he can't even get into the position to get the puck handed to him. Like,
Yeah,
this
that's
guy's
'cause
basically being
Nylander
treated
plays with
like Vladimir
blinders.
Putin playing in the
Nylander's with
KHL All-Star
blinders.
game at this point. Where it's like, put the guy in front of the net and skate over him, drop it on his stick for him to give him the opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, man. It's hard to watch right now. It's like you're watching like my grandpa who refused to get knee surgery because he wanted to play golf all summer and refused to get in the cart, and he's limping around the course. I'm like, come on, guy, take a second here. Just go get the surgery. You'll be back next year. And he won't do it. And watching JT, it feels the same way.
Okay, I think that's the JT thing because I'm exhausted. I've said everything I could say about him.
All right.
The chat's heating up though, so that's good. But I think Marner, JT would be better with Marner. That's it, and I think they should bump Nylander up with Matthews. That line isn't going to hurt at all with Nylander playing up there. Although Matthews scores at a higher rate with Marner on his line, so maybe he's not going to like not getting those nice little tape sauces left, right, and center.
I think he would still, though. I think he would from Nylander. Like, I think that Nylander's playmaking ability is a little bit underrated. But fair enough. We've exhausted the conversation. That's fine.
Yeah.
Where are you at with this team heading into the trade deadline? One of the biggest things that I've talked about, and I see varying opinions from people online. Some of it I want to scream into the void, losing my mind about the stuff that I see on there. I'm of the opinion that I think this team should go into the trade deadline and not do anything drastic. Like, at most, truly, and this might sound insane, I think that you're basically looking at it like a Plekanec, Brian Boyle, or Brian Boyle type of trade here again, where it's like low cost, 4th, 5th round, bring a guy in, maybe he kind of ups your 4th line a little bit, maybe helps you out with some of that depth, or he can maybe be a 3rd line piece, and that's the extent of it. Like, to me, I look at this team and I think, do they really need to upgrade in the top 6? Not really. Do they really need to upgrade in the bottom 6? No, but they could. It would be a luxury. When you look at this team and the biggest needs that they have, it's a top 4 defenseman. And if you don't think that it's going to be an expensive piece to go and get, it's going to be tough in regards to how many assets you're going to be using to get them, whether it's picks, prospects, having to move contracts out to make it work. Again, I think part of it becomes from my mindset of this team and the fact that I think that they have no shot at winning the Stanley Cup. Like, I think that there's maybe like a 5% chance of this team winning the Stanley Cup, just because, like, yeah, you can get lucky, you can go on a run, you make the playoffs, I get that, but they're missing the biggest ingredient of all, and it's a pair of balls. They just don't have it. This team just doesn't have it. The character, the identity of this team doesn't have it. We've seen that out of them all season long. You're basically expecting them to start to transform into this little bit of different character because of the fact that you bring in Bertuzzi, you bring in Domi to be these supplementary pieces who might start to transform the identity of this team, and yet they just don't conform to it. They don't do it. They don't fall in line. Keefe fucking hates those guys, refuses to play them. I think that's part of a problem, maybe a disconnect between himself and Tree Living there, which I think needs to be sorted out as well. They're clearly going to refuse to move on from the coach. It makes no sense to do at this point in time. I just don't see this being a year that you go all in. I don't think you should waste assets. I don't think you should be spending the time, the resources, and the money to go and make this happen for losing in the first round here to the Florida Panthers again. Because guess what? You get into the playoffs, you play the Florida Panthers, they're going to kick the shit out of you in every single way possible. They're going to be better defensively, they're better on the forecheck, their special teams are going to be better, their goaltending is going to be better. You're not going to stand a chance. This might be the worst first round exit that this Leafs team has. Like the year that they played Washington and they went and lost in 6 games, the first year these guys were on the team might have been a better performance than what we might get against the Florida Panthers this year if the Leafs go up against them in the playoffs. So I don't think it's worthwhile to do. I think if anything, you get a low player, 4th, 5th round is what you trade to get this guy. Maybe it's just a guy who wants to go and compete to close out this season. and you basically treat them like like the Florida Panthers were treated last year, where you say the moves were made in the offseason. And by the way, re-signing Austin Matthews and William Nylander is a move. Like, that is a move by this management. That is a thing that they did to try to continue to improve this team and make them competitive moving forward. Now it's on you. You think you're so good? You think you can win Stanley Cups? You think you can compete? Go fucking show us. Go out on the ice and show us. Because what they've done through 46 games into this game here tonight hasn't been good enough, and it does not have me convinced that they're a true contending team.
Well, just a brief look here, and the Leafs are 6th in the entire NHL in goals for, and they're 18th in goals against. So that tells me, and just the eye test tells me, it's the D that's the problem. And what I think is, I agree
also
with
quickly,
you.
Gord, we hit 50 likes here. Yeah. Sorry, we hit 50 likes. So I'll do this while you continue.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah,
have at it, guys.
yeah. Sorry, continue.
I would touch that. No sweat. So I think, I don't think the offense is. I don't think as much as people. We got to get more depth scoring. Blah 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 blah. You know, the entire NHL is like that. Okay, so the problem is the Leafs. Here's the main problem: the Leafs don't box out well enough net front, and they don't win enough 50-50 board battles down below the red line. Number 3, the defense has too big of a gap. There's way too much space for the offensive team on the attack to enter the zone. And that has to do with back pressure and the defense being far too tentative. So the Leafs, I totally agree with you. I'm not giving up any blue chip prospects or high draft picks this year at all. I'm not even giving up a second. Forget that. I'm looking to pick up a guy like Labushkin for a 5th. You know, I'm looking to get 2 stout D at low cost. 2 stout D, because Gio's done. I don't care. I love the guy. He's done now. He's done now. He's going to be done in the playoffs. He's tired. And, you know, anybody who's played hockey, when you get tired, you make mistakes. You make mental mistakes. You cough the puck up. Yeah, I mean, you can see it. Gio makes a lot of great plays still when he's fresh. By the time it gets to the third period, he's gassed, and he's making a lot. So you got to. I love Benoit. Oh man, I hope they re-up that guy. Benoit I just love the guy. So I definitely re-up that guy. He's good. I like McCabe. He can get sloppy with the puck at times, but he's stout. He plays solid physical D. I mean, you're not going to get everything in one guy. Riley's a beast, but Riley's got to make up for Brody's shinny hockey 90% of the time. So he's overcompensating and getting lost out of position, covering for that.
Oh, what a pass. Sorry. I think I'm a little bit ahead of you. You'll see it here. Also, by the way, for everyone in the chat, if you're wondering where I'm at, time-wise here, third period, we got 18, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46. There you go. There's a shot, and the Leafs are going to the power play. Okay.
Solid. All right. Yeah, so I think they should shore up on the D with just, you know, some stout guys that they can play physically, box out, and plus, if they're going to go anywhere in the playoffs, right? It's a like I mentioned many times, it's a every second night war. So you're going to get injuries. So you got an injury on the D, and you got no one to, even if you're picking up guys who are like number 6. If you pick up 2 number 6 stout guys, it's not like, oh, what are you going to do with these 2 number 6 guys? Well, NHL every second night. Try and play NHL playoff hockey every second night, where it's very physical for 2 months.
Yeah,
you're going to get injuries. It's a battle of attrition. It really is. So you definitely, I definitely see them looking at picking up some depth D, and they should. And I hope it's. How did they let Zadorov go for like a 5th? Vancouver picks up Zadorov for a 5th.
I feel like that's less so about like the Leafs not being able to offer that, and more so about Calgary probably lacking interest in doing a deal with Tree Living. You know what I
It
mean?
had to be like
if you're there in the office and Toronto offers you the same thing that Vancouver did, you probably look at.
Yeah, but they're in Vancouver's division. Like, wouldn't you want to keep them out of your division and out of your conference? I mean, that's really something else. It just, Oh, yes. Attaboy. Attaboy. Attababy boy. Sift it through, Riley. That's it. Sift it through. That's all you have to do.
Shoot the puck. Shocking.
Yeah, and get it through. Not into the shin pads of the opposing team. Oh, is that JT with the tip in front?
Did he tip it?
Attaboy, Johnny. Look, let's have a look here.
I'm gonna guess
yes,
he did.
Yeah. He tipped. Attababy boy.
Imagine that after the conversation we had, this guy scores.
And he's not standing off at the side of the goalie. Look, he's in the front of him. So Hellebuck couldn't see. Attaboy, Johnny. Attaboy. And Riley for sifting it through.
Yeah,
wait a minute. That's Nylander. That's Nylander. Wait a minute. That looks like Nylander from that angle. Who was it? It looked like Tavares from one angle, but it looked like Nylander got a stick on it. But anyway, nice goal. Attaboy, Riley.
John, you still want him on the third line? That was a power play goal, John. Come on, guy.
Yeah, you're not going to make an assessment on a guy on a one tip. I think takes a half a second of a hockey game. Look, that one half a second, he was awesome. Yeah, that one half a second when he was standing in front and he just happened to get. But I want the guy in the power play to stand in the middle of the goalie, not off to the side. That way you can tip pucks on either side of you, and you're in the goalie's sight line. This Tavares off to the side of the goalie too much drives me nuts.
Well, that was kind of where I was like looking and thinking that if you're going to change the power play, you're going to put new guys on it, which I don't think they're going to now. You go out there and you score. Keefe's probably going to be reluctant to make a change, but
in the front of the net.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Is like you swap JT with Bertuzzi.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Swap them out and tell Bertuzzi just get in the front of the net and cause havoc, and then tell everybody else get the puck to the net.
Don't go anywhere other than the front. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Sean Avery.
Oh, that's what Sean Avery. Oh yeah, do the Sean Avery. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Come on, Matthew. Sometimes the shot in the shin pads isn't the play. Nothing I hate more than a shot in the shin pads at the blue line. Fuck me.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, sorry about that.
All good.
Dropping the F-bombs here like it's spitting chicklets.
You're good. You're good, Gord. Third man in, much more. JT, you got to make that pass quicker.
Okay, with that moniker, third man in, I should be able to drop the odd F-bomb anyway.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Especially, I'm grandfathered in. I was born in the '60s, so I'm grandfathered in on the F-bomb.
Gotta win that battle at the line.
Hustle.
Ew. Oh, Nylander, you gotta win that.
Nylander cheating there and missed the puck when he's tied up with Lily there. Come on, guy, don't fucking cheat.
Oh, you're
2-1
behind here.
Know the score. Yeah, I'm 15 minutes and 10 seconds just on the icing here.
Okay.
So must be that satellite is that technology. It takes that signal, that extra few seconds to get over here.
It takes a little while to send the Leafs game over to Japan.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, man, I'm thrilled. When I first came over here, it was nothing. I used to get VHS tapes sent to me and watch and they would show up like a week and a half later, right? So I watched the game on VSH. I'd already know the score, but that was all the hockey I had the first 10, 15 years I lived here. And then finally the internet comes out, and the old clocking thing in the first stages of the internet, right? So you'd watch 3 seconds of smooth hockey, and then it would clock for a minute and a half, and then 3, and then you just go, forget it.
Gord, I mean this respectfully. I grew up in a little bit of a different era than you did, so I didn't necessarily deal with the same issues.
Yeah, no kidding.
Same internet issues.
No
Those
kidding.
weren't really a thing.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in the 60s where we had a 14-inch black and white. Color TV wasn't even out yet. We had 5 channels. I'm exaggerating. And we had a coat hanger for an aerial that you had to actually hold to get a good screen. So my brother and I would take turns holding the antenna to watch the 14-inch black and white Leaf games that were only broadcast Saturday and Wednesday. That was it. Saturday and Wednesday was the only time you could watch hockey.
Oh my god!
And that was it.
Sorry.
And you
Continue.
get the Channel 25 the Quebec broadcast. You could watch the Habs games. So I had to put up my brother was a Habs fan, unbelievably.
Yeah. So
Born and raised a Toronto Habs fan. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's brutal. That's brutal.
That's brutal, especially you're a Leafs fan, and your brother's a Habs fan. It's like who's getting all the
God,
who's getting?
I think Samsonov saved that. You'll see it here in a second, Gord. You got to give me breakdown. I'm pretty sure Samsonov saved this.
If he didn't, at least he got that leg over.
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
really good at getting that leg tight to the ice.
Yeah,
he's good at that. He's nice play. Just even if he didn't get a leg on it, wow, just a solid take it away with that leg. Solid.
I don't know what I don't know what happened to him, and how he figured it out, but he just lost his confidence. It seemed like
he lost it, and then he's overcompensating by moving around too much. Yeah. But and that now he realized he's fighting for his job, his career, basically, right? So
he was like, oh my god, he was like 1 4-goal against game away from being an East Coast Hockey League goaltender.
Nice play by Nice. Oh, you fluke. Riley with one guy. Come on, help out.
Guys, get the puck out of the zone.
How many of these scrum battles do the Leafs lose?
There you go.
I want to see a stat on those puck scrums. I swear to God,
too many men.
70.
Oh, coincidental penalties. What the hell is going on here?
Chip it out.
Yeah, great play by Benoit on the hands of Perfetti there as he was trying to make play. Where's these penalties? Oh my God, Samsonov, get tight, guy. Nice.
Oh, he didn't get it, but he got that leg over and took away the ice, so that was a great play. Oh, yeah. There, yeah. Snug on the post there. Nice play, Sammy. Good job. Yeah, Benoit. I want to see that guy re-up. What would you re-up him for? 2.5? 2.5? 3 years?
Yeah. Like a million and a half, 2? I think like 2.5
what
for
if
is
some other
stretching
team comes up? I don't think he's worth it, to be honest with you. I think he's worth it.
Your problem is that he's your 6th defenseman, and you need like every single penny. Like you don't have the luxury of like overspending by $500K because you're spending 11 on Nylander, 11 on Tavares, 13 on Matthews. Marner's gonna ask for $20 million a year. Like you gotta be prepared for some of these contracts to come up, and next year especially is going to be a tough one where you're going to have all 4 of them.
So how about you don't spend $5 million on a winger, you spend $3.5 million on a winger, and you spend $2 million on Benoit.
It's probably fine. I like him much more than I liked Lyubushkin, and I thought Lyubushkin got way overpaid in free agency. Like, people were mad that he left. Like, dude, I would have never paid that contract. Good for him for getting that money. I would have never paid it myself. And you see him, he's on his 3rd team since that? Then he signed in Buffalo. He got traded somewhere, and then he got traded again to Anaheim, or he got traded to Anaheim, and then Anaheim's trying to trade him now. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, definitely Benoit's better. Benoit covers a lot more ice. Benoit's he's rangy, and he's not a bad skater. You know, he's not going to give you any offense at all. But who cares? Just defend. And not the Leafs' stout defense is they're not stout enough. Benoit and
look, get the puck. God, skate to the puck, guy. Have some urgency. Yeah, the other
Benoit,
point
McCabe,
is
and Gio will play physically too, but Gio's done. I mean, I love the guy.
This is probably the end,
done.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I definitely, I don't know, man. I value a guy who can win those defensive battles, who has good gas control.
You cannot get to the slot and not have a scoring opportunity there. You get into the slot with another guy at least on the rush with you here, and you're not getting a shot off or losing the puck. You gotta. Sorry,
yeah, he's got to be more determined there. That's the one thing that seeps into his game a little bit. Like, it's too casual. Because he trusts his skill way too much.
It's like he thinks he's gonna skate the puck into the net.
Yeah, I want to see more determination there. I want to see more just determination to get a play on the net rather than, moving it and looking for that perfect play, right? Yeah. Sometimes you just got to be more, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Determined is a good word, but there's more.
Yeah, you have to have more urgency.
Yeah, you definitely have to have that. And you said that about the power play way back in the first period, and I agree with that. The urgency thing, that's too much peripheral stuff, waiting and looking for the perfect shot. Just get it in the middle, sift it at the net, like that Tavares tip.
I think that's the negative. That's the takeaway. That's something that takes away from their ability to kind of even take it to the next level or be as dominant as you could be when it comes to playoff time, is because they have the luxury of having so much skill that it's like, it feels, Gregor, it feels like in their minds, it's like, well, we're not just going to fire this puck to the middle because we've got so much talent on the ice here, which makes sense to a degree, but
Sorry, I interrupted you there. I'm laughing because I see Gregor take off with the puck, and poor Reeves trying to keep up with Gregor was humorous.
Reeves got to check his knees.
He tried to start that engine and get up to speed, but yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, Reeves' knees might be out of place after that one. Oh boy,
anyway, he's playing right tonight. Yeah, look, a good game tonight. So far, so good, right? I'm just
Gord, talk to me about Reeves here. What are your thoughts on him entering back into the lineup? Do you play him next game? What do you do here? I mean, I guess it's like what do you even do anyways? Because you got a week off until after the All-Star break. How do you handle this? He wants to play.
I guess
he's played really well here tonight.
Yeah, he's playing well. You got to slide him in once in a while, but the feet are just. He can't keep up to the NHL pace, man, unfortunately. But keep him as your 14th forward and slip him in every once in a while. You're going to get injuries. It's a long season. So too bad if he's, not happy. Tough shit. I mean, it's the NHL. It's not the GTHL. Again, I go back to you try and ice your best lineup.
Tell that one to 16.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. But yeah, I don't know. Reeves he's lost it, man. He's pretty much done too, I think. What are you gonna do? 3 years on that contract. That's gonna be a buyout for sure. What do they eat on the buyout? $200,000?
No, it would be more than that. The $200,000 thing is if they send him to the Marlies and he clears and goes through. I think that it's 200,000 of his 1.3 hits against the cap still. They still have to pay him 1.3. He makes 1.3 for the next 3 years if he gets waived and he clears, which he will clear. No one's going to pick him up.
bury him in the minors. You bury him in the minors, and that's it. And then
Yeah.
you eat the 200. You eat the 200 grand. Unfortunately for him, I love the guy. I was perplexed at the Marchand thing where nothing happened on that little.
I think that's Keefe.
Foot. But
Oh my God, this defense.
That threw me off of Keefe right there. That right there threw me off of Keefe. I was a Keefe supporter up until that play, and then that had to be him to put the handcuffs. Whoa! How does Connor get that wide open in the slot? Jesus H.
The best goal scorer on the other team.
Jesus. And look at this. Here we go.
Sloppy defensively here.
Oh my goodness. I hate this, like, retreat back to the center and just let the team have their cycle, wide open cycle with zero pressure. Like there's more pressure on the PK to guys.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, you're right.
That's ridiculous. Pressure the puck. Jesus. Here, wheel
Gord,
around and take a shot.
Do you have any Leafs jerseys yourself?
No. Guy, I stopped getting jerseys when I was 12. I'm a fan. Look, I dig it, but I just laughed at. I remember, you're too young for Doug Laurie's, hey?
Yeah.
Maple Leaf Gardens used to have a sports shop called Doug Laurie's, and that was the only place you could buy an authentic NHL jersey. The only place, and they sold like game used hockey sticks by NHL players that were still in good condition, not broken or cracked or anything. So, yeah, I used to go down there. I had an authentic Bobby Orr jersey when I was a kid. I was a Bobby Orr fan, so I had an authentic Bobby Orr jersey when I was a kid. That was the only jersey I've ever had.
Did you keep those? Did you keep it?
Yeah, I have it still. I've got that, and I've got a Team Canada 1972 Team Canada jersey. Oddly enough, I have it. Yeah, so I have it. I have a 72 Team Canada jersey signed by Paul Henderson.
Whoa, that's pretty cool.
So those original ones are really cool too.
Yeah.
With the blazing top of the leaf, just the top part of the maple leaf.
Those were real. Those were sweaters. That's when hockey jerseys were sweaters.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. And I received as a gift from Vasily Perevukin.
Come on, Nylander.
Coach hockey. I've got a authentic Soviet CCP jersey.
Oh, really?
Number 5. Yeah. Authentic.
Who was number 5?
Vasily Perevukin.
Oh, yeah. We talked about him before.
Yeah. So he coaches hockey in Japan, and then he was one of the guys that run our hockey program here.
Right.
Good guy. Loves his vodka. His best friend was Krutov. Unfortunately, Krutov died of, I think, pancreas cancer, like maybe about 10 years ago now.
Oh, okay.
But Krutov was a beast. So I met.
They
Krutov
were all like
the
Miracle on Ice with team as well, or no?
They were that team, and then he was the 1980. He was in the 1987 Canada Cup that lost to that. That was 6-5 each game. 6-5, 6-5, 6-5.
Yeah,
like best tournament ever.
Yeah,
that one. If you go back and look at the Gretzky and Lemieux 2-on-1, and the announcer goes, "What are you gonna do?" Gretzky and Lemieux coming down on Perevukin's the defenseman on that play.
Oh, really?
He goes, "If I had a longer stick, I would have broken that play up." Yeah. Okay. Okay, Vasily, whatever you say. Yeah.
Also, just quickly here, as for the game, the chance Nylander had there, I saw someone say earlier, Nylander looked like he was lazy or whatever. I think Nylander's been playing fine. I think it's just not. I feel like this is one of those ones where in his mind, it's like, you're playing well, you just haven't scored. Now, naturally, the Toronto media is like, oh, yeah, coincidental, like he signs a big ticket and he can't score. And now it's like, you want it that much more.
Yeah, it's just like I don't think sports writers and fans don't understand how taxing an 82 game season is. They just don't understand it. You guys in the chat section or whatever, you don't understand what travel hockey is like, man. It is exhausting, day in, day out. And I know the other teams go through it too, and other teams don't seem to have blips, but you're not watching the other teams day in, day out.
82 games.
Kucherov takes shifts off. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. There are certain guys, some guys.
Yeah.
I don't think Nathan McKinnon ever took a shift off in his life.
Agreed. Yeah. McKinnon hasn't even taken a practice off in his life.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
So there are some guys whose motors are like that, right? Nylander grew up with a silver spoon. His father's an NHLer. He's grown up around NHL rinks his whole life. It's not to him like being in the NHL isn't like this. I've got to scrap and fight for every last thing to be able to stay here and stay relevant. It's like, yeah, this is my life. I'm an NHLer. I've been an NHLer since I was born.
Yeah.
So you can see that sometimes that seeps into his game, but you're just hoping that he turns it up in the playoffs. And I'm comfortable with Nylander. I was one of his biggest detractors forever in the first 8 years. Just the last 2 years, I've come around. I've seen a change in him, and that's because his game changed. He definitely is. He's cutting to center ice more. He's getting into dirty areas.
Right? Like it feels like he bought in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does look a little bit like, but prior to signing the contract, that he was playing harder for that contract than he is right now. But I'm hoping that he's going to play harder for the cup once the playoffs start than he is right now, right?
I think he will. I think he did every year in the playoffs.
Yeah. I think the same with all of them. So I hope Marner comes around too, right? I hope he comes around, and I honestly think I'd really, really like to see him playing with Tavares, because I think he just plays like, I got to get Tavares the puck, I got to get Tavares the puck, I got to get Tavares the puck kind of mentality, where he's playing with Matthews, he's more I don't know. I can shoot, or Matthews can shoot, or whatever. But his shot, he's got a muffin for a shot. Like, he's got to have the weakest shot of any NHL player I've ever seen. It really does.
Winnipeg's getting another one here. Sorry.
Oh, beauty.
All right. Well, let's put this special teams to the test. You stunk before you got into this position. Barry won here. You can finish this game. You got 4:50 left in the game. You're going to be on the 5-on-3 power play for a minute and a half. This is where it comes to like the urgency, though. Yeah, you don't have to rush things. You're on a 5-on-3, but let's also not just stand on the perimeter forever.
They get it to the net. The only thing they can do is whack it and clear it. So you don't have any threat. Get it to the net. Please don't just pass it around the periphery. Please don't kill their penalties.
Are they going timeout here? What's happening? Yeah, timeout.
Timeout? Who's taking it? The Leafs?
Leafs, I think.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know, man. I fire the PP coach. This guy's, I'm sick of looking at, what's his name? Boucher or whatever his name is?
Guy Boucher, yeah.
Boucher,
Gord, I don't think it's him. I think that this is just... It's who these guys are.
He's the power play coach.
But it's the same thing every year.
Okay, then why is he even there then? It's the same thing. We don't need you to tell us to do the same thing.
Well, he's not just
Why are you even there? Why get off? Get that suit off. I told you before, I hate all these 5 suits behind the bench. Jesus. They should make a rule. One coach, one trainer. That's it.
Well, you can have a forward and a D coach.
Why?
Because you're also managing the game here.
Yeah, change it up. What's the surprise?
My screen froze.
Could you do that?
I missed the goal. The screen froze.
Oh, don't say they scored.
Oh fuck! Sorry, Gord.
Oh, Matthews, Bombardier. Bombardier. Atta baby boy. Okay.
600. Holy shit.
Shabba-doo. Atta boy Matthews. Atta baby boy. Nice rip. That's it. Let's get another one.
My. Marner to Matthews.
In the chat crying about, who said Marner crying? Marner crying. Nobody was saying anything about Hughes crying the other day when he smashed his stick and was sucking out. No one says anything about Crosby crying all the time, but Marner cries and he's a suck. I mean, put that stuff to bed, okay? Put that stuff to bed. Certain guys are certain personalities, okay? That's his personality. Nobody says it when Crosby cries. Nobody.
Go 40 back and goals in 46 games for Matthews.
Wow, what a stud! Thank goodness we got that guy.
I think they said he's the fastest Leaf to 600 career points. Is that what they said?
Let's get another one. Let's get another one and put this thing to bed.
Well, the power plays showed up here. Attaboy Willie. Hold that, Marner. Yep. Matthews.
Oh, Hoshi. Hoshi is, I wanted that one in Japanese. Hoshi.
Oh. Nylander probably should have just shot that.
Oh my goodness. How did he give that up on the power play?
Also, boys, I know I got my buddies watching right now. We had Matthews, anytime goal, parlay, Marner assist. Get on the line with PT. Get it ready.
All right. Nice rip. Oughta rip it, baby boy. 40. Guy's got
40 goals before the All-Star break.
40 by January. What a nut. What a stud. Okay, lock her down, boys. Lock her down.
$40 goals before the All-Star break is insane.
Look at Nylander trying to go through a guy at the blue line to make a pass. That's the stuff I hate. Jesus. 3-1, and he's trying to make a lateral pass at the blue line to Liljegren. Jesus. Understand the time of the game and the score.
Gregor. Yeah, I know. These guys don't have a situational awareness. 600 point.
Wow. Look at this. Keefe putting the fourth line out with 2 minutes left.
Don't take a penalty, Reeves. You're either going to fight or you're not. Oh, it's Ehlers.
Yeah. Nice seal.
That's a good. That's a trade you'd take if you're the Leafs. Oh, right. Reeves got to get off the ice here. He's trapped with Matthews and Nyes. That's the problem. And this is against. Just get it out, Reeves. Make up for it.
Ehlers laughing.
This is going to be a problem, and he's going to hear about this. Diener locked it up. We're going. Simone Benoit.
Attaboy, Benny. Oh, attaboy, Benny. That's his first goal. Attaboy.
Get Dean on the line. Get the hoedown, throwdown ready. We're rocking, Gord. Beautiful. We're rocking tonight.
Beautiful. Four points against the leading into the All-Star break against a red-hot Winnipeg Jets team. Way to go.
40 goals before the All-Star break.
Solid game all around, man. Solid game. Couple of little blips, but that's hockey. You're gonna get your blip, but that was a solid effort.
Baby.
That's a solid effort all the way around. Good job. PK was good. PP got on the board.
They went, 2 for 3 here, technically?
Please re-up this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
4 points out of Winnipeg going into the break. That's solid. And then definitively on home ice here tonight. I don't remember. There's a couple of moments in the game where the first period and just a little while ago with that crazy cycle what they kind of sagged on. That's the only time I can remember Winnipeg being any bit of a threat in the whole game.
We do have a super chat here. Max Entius, thank you as always for the super chat. We appreciate the support. Max says, there's nothing better than beating the Jets. For those of you wondering, that is a callback to Mark Scheifele's in the room saying there's nothing better than beating the Leafs. We know everyone gets up to play the Leafs. Thank you, Max. Yeah, I was right about the score. Wrong team. Right score, wrong team is what it is. This Leafs team unpredictable, but the flow of the game, we were dialed in.
Solid. That was a solid game. That was a solid game all around. Look at Reeves out on the last minute here.
Yeah, because he knows Winnipeg's full of a bunch of lunatics.
No, just in case he wants to get Reeves a scrap in there. That's it.
Just in case he's out.
And then Sammy, another solid game. Boy, Sammy, that's 4 in a row. 4 in a row.
Reeves' gloves off already.
Oh, they got a goal. They got a crap goal at the end. Here we go. Scrappy doodles. Leafs have got the right guys on, too.
Oh, yeah.
Gregor, Penny, and Reeves. Punch him out. Who cares?
The Jets are a bunch of cowards. They did this the last time. They did this when I was at the game where Matthews had scored 50 as well. This Jets team is a bunch of cowards. Gutless cowards.
That's why they put Reeves out in there for that last shift. Good. No one dropping the gloves.
Had to be out.
Lots of shoves, but no, none of the Jets guys dropped their mitts.
It's just bad luck. Nito Ryder. And then Appleton hit him from behind, of course. You're real fucking tough when the guy's not looking at you, brother. Samson.
Oh, yeah.
I mean.
Oh, yeah, and you can see his mitts are still on, eh? Appleton. Yeah,
and then
that's
duck. Looks like Nick Cousins. Hit a guy from behind and then hit the deck and cover your head. Soft as shit.
Cross and turtle. Look at that. Turtle right up. You gutless puke. All right, I love how Reeves just grabbed Morrissey and started shaking him by the sweater. Beautiful. Attaboy, Sammy. I wouldn't worry about that goal. Who cares? Take your fucking goal. Trying right to the last fucking second. Good for you.
What a game for Reeves. I mean, that was an absolute nightmare with him being out on the ice late. But he got through it.
That was a good tip goal, man. He went, he got in on the forecheck. It got rimmed, and then he goes right to the front of the net. Like, he knows where to go, right? Go to the net. He's not stupid. He's a tough guy, but he's not a stupid tough guy. He knows. He just can't keep up. His feet. He can't keep up. So that's unfortunate, but they can use him, man. They can use him. All
right, we do have another super chat here. Super chat, Godly John. John, thanks for the super chat. John says, Sammy is back and Matthews with his 40th. Feels good to see Sammy play that game there tonight. Good performance from him. I think this went well. And then on top of that, Matthews, 40 goals before the All-Star break. This guy is an absolute monster this season. We do have another super chat here as well. Phenom, thank you. Phenom says, statement win. You just beat the best goals against team in the NHL ×2. The game the other day, I have a hard time getting fully behind it, mostly because Laurent Passois, you're missing This Jets team is missing Mark Scheifele. They were missing Velarde. You lost Morrissey partway through the game. This game here tonight was a really, really good game. Now, again, and I'm not trying to take away from what happened here, but the other thought of this would be the Jets are also heading off on a break. If you listened to Overdrive this week, you would have heard them talking about what's the mindset is going into some of these games before you head out to your vacations, to your week vacation, to Cabo or wherever it is that you're going. Maybe heart's not fully in it here and you're not fully bought in. So, look, this is a really good win. I think all the way through, this is a good performance, 100%, not trying to take that away. But more, let's take it with a grain of salt, see how they do when they come back from the All-Star break. Gord, we have two things to get to before we can finish this one off. I appreciate you jumping in here throughout the course of this game today. It is morning time for you over in Japan, so thank you very much. Gord, let's get to our play of the game.
Oh, you're asking me?
All right, Gord, play of the game. You know how it works. I just had to play the animation. That was all. What do you got for us? What's your play of the game tonight?
Oh, my goodness. Max is going the JT goal. I'll say the Matthews. I'll say the Matthews power play goal. I just like that. I like that power play. I like that boomer from the slot. It looks so good, man. I like it. And just the fact that the power play had been struggling for so long. Nice to see. I'll give Matthews that. Yeah, Revo tip is, I give that a honorable mention just for being out of the lineup so long. The fact that he knew go to the front of the net, and that guy tried to box him out. Good luck. Go look at that goal again. That defenseman he stuck his ass there, and no way he was going to get moved. Nice tip. So, yeah, I'll say Matthews' goal, but definitely give Reeves the tip of the hat on that for honorable mention.
I think you took the Matthews one, so I'm going to go with the Reeves one. For all the reasons you said, he's out of the lineup. We hear this commotion about him coming back and how he's been healthy. He's been ready to go. He's been pissed off. People are mad that the Leafs had him on IR, blah, blah, blah. He comes back. He scores a goal here tonight. He looked fiery. He looked full of energy. Look, at the end of the day, all you could ask for is for the guy to come back and have a good story here tonight in his hometown in Winnipeg. He scores a goal. He plays pretty well. He looks good. He looks full of emotion, energy. So happy to see that. Honorable mention, obviously, Matthews' goal, 40th. That's pretty sick. 40 before the All-Star break. Fuck, that is just... That's insane. That's insane. 40 before the All-Star break. Matthews is out of his mind. Fastest Leaf to 600 points as well. Gord, let's wrap this one up and get out of here tonight with our grades of the game.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Grades of the game. You know how it works. Drop yours in the chat here as well. Gord, what do you got for us? What was your grade of the game tonight?
I give them an A tonight. The A pluses for the couple of... There's a couple of sags in the game, not many though. So I'll definitely give them an A tonight. Good, solid game all the way around.
I'm with you on that. I think it's an A. It's just missing a couple things for me to get to the A plus. I think kind of the closing of the game there potentially misses. It felt like there was some sloppy parts. It felt like you started the game a little bit sloppier and you let Winnipeg. Not from a shot perspective, but it felt like Winnipeg was more so dictating the pace of play that was going on, the production that was happening. It felt like it was coming more from the Winnipeg side of things. And then it was with about 5-6 minutes left in the first period where you started to feel the Leafs push back and start to take it themselves. 4 minutes left in the game, in the first period, they really start to pour it on. And then from that point through the remainder, it felt like this was the Leafs game, and they took control of it. So A for me here as well. Shout out Samsonov, another really good game for him. The power play breaks that freezing cold streak. You go 2 for 3 here tonight for them. Good to see out of the power play. The penalty kill looks pretty good as well. Simone Benoit scores a goal. I mean, a lot of good stuff going into this break. So it's nice to be able to get 2 wins against the Jets and with Hellebuck in that there as well. So nice to see from that standpoint. Gord, I appreciate you calling into the show here tonight. I appreciate you being the first person to call in during one of these watch-alongs. So thank you very much. All the way from Japan, the man, the myth, the legend, Gordon Graham. Thanks for calling in here tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Hopefully I didn't talk too much during the play there, but I got carried away watching the game.
No, it was great. Gord, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and keep up the good work, man. Great channel. If you haven't subscribed already, get in there and subscribe to this channel. Best Leafs content on the net, guys. So definitely top it up. Good looking chat too. Nice interacting with you guys in the chat. Even those guys who disagree with either myself or Zach, it's good to have alternative opinions in there to keep it robust. Don't want to just have a silo here of everybody agreeing with each other. So it's all good, man. Yep. So thanks for having me. I really appreciate it, and see you guys on the other side of the break. Take care.
Thanks, Gord. Appreciate it. Enjoy your Sunday, and we'll see you after the All-Star break as well. Also appreciate the kind words from Gord there, but he is right. If you haven't subscribed already to the channel, please take a second, like the stream here tonight, subscribe to the channel as well, turn on notifications so you get notified every single time we go live or more videos like the one that was dropped the other day come out. You're not going to want to miss any of it. That'll do it for tonight's stream. I appreciate everyone who joined in. I appreciate Gord calling in, everyone who dropped super chats, who liked, who subscribed, who found the channel for the first time, or came back and decided, you know what, I like this. I like what's going on. We'll continue to subscribe. We're over 1,200 subscribers here on the channel now. Let's get this thing up to 2,000 by the playoffs. 2,000. Come on. That's it. That's an attainable number. 2,000 by the playoffs. Look forward to seeing it get to that number. I appreciate everyone who continues to watch and support the channel. Thank you guys very much. This has been game number 47 of the Toronto Maple Leafs regular season, defeating the Winnipeg Jets here 4-2. Austin Matthews, 40th goal of the season, his 46th game played of the year. And on top of that, he's the fastest Maple Leaf to hit 600 points. Insane what this guy is doing. He's going to have every record here for this franchise by the time his career comes to an end. Thanks everyone who tuned in here tonight. We appreciate it. Enjoy your break. We'll try to cover any news that happens over the next little while, but I imagine it'll probably be a bit quiet while these guys are all on their vacations and everything like that. So probably not too much coming out of me until after the All-Star break. So I look forward to seeing you guys until then. Enjoy your breaks. I will continue to enjoy mine. Stay safe out there tonight. Ho down, throw down. PT, Dean, we're coming. Keep believing, everyone.